and Harassment Prevention Program. Now, the Inspector General was sent here by the U.S. Army's Forces Command and has been here since Tuesday. Vanessa Guillen's family claims she was sexually assaulted just days before her disappearance. But today, during a press conference at Fort Hood, officials say they have not found any evidence to support those claims.
We've interviewed hundreds of people, to include all acquaintances and co-workers of Ms. Guillen. So there's no allegation whatsoever that she's been sexually assaulted or harassed. And any hint of information that was sexual harassment was completely looked at without any credible information.
The team will inspect how the SHARP program, which stands for Sexual Harassment, Assault, and Response and Prevention Program, will be implemented at Fort Hood. And they're expected to wrap up their investigation tomorrow, but there's no date set for whether they will release their findings to the public. Now, military officials did confirm that the man who committed suicide yesterday was Specialist Aaron Robinson. The family of Vanessa Guillen claims sexually assaulted her. Live at Fort Hood, Joel Lopez, 25 News.
Joel, thank you. Right now, an online petition is calling for Fort Hood to be closed. That petition specifically calls out President Trump and Congress, saying the post should be shut down due to the handling of the Vanessa Guillen case. The petition says Fort Hood failed her and, quote, let her die when they claim no soldier left behind.
Vanessa's family has been front and center throughout her disappearance, demanding answers while trying to find their loved one. Earlier today, her sisters reflected on Vanessa, one of the suspects in the case, who, as we just heard, took his own life, and why they still firmly believe she was sexually harassed. It's a problem they think is only getting worse at Fort Hood.
For me, she's a role model to me. She's that star at night, that bright, so bright. She's a big sister that always be there for you. That's why I say, like people say nothing's perfect, but for me, she's like the most wonderful person ever.
He took the easy way out. Out of all the things I wanted the most was at least for my sister to get justice. And apparently at this point, we can't even do that.
From sexual harassment and how they take the reports as a joke. That's why my sister didn't want to report it, because they wouldn't listen to her. She's an innocent person, so she deserves justice as well. And I want everyone to protest, and protest in front of army bases, and protest of recruits, because I wouldn't let my child go, knowing that this is happening, knowing that she isn't the only one.
Now, as we said earlier, Fort Hood officials are now having outside investigators look into complaints of sexual assault and harassment on post.
Switching gears here, a record day for coronavirus cases in the U.S., reporting more than 50,000 new cases on Wednesday alone. Experts are blaming the spread on people who refuse to wear masks or follow social distancing rules. Health officials believe cases and death numbers may be much higher than reported because of limited testing. In the Lone Star State, there are now 1,075,977 confirmed cases of COVID-19, with more than 82,000 active cases and more than 90,000 recoveries. And in Central Texas, there are 1,292 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in McLennan County. There are more than 1,300 in Bell County and 2,222 in Brazos County. Of those, there are 1,015 active cases in McLennan County with 268 recoveries. In Bell County, there are 895 active cases, 407 recoveries. And in Brazos County, there are 1,132 active cases with 1,065 recoveries. Governor Greg Abbott issuing an executive order today requiring Texans to wear face coverings while in public. This order applies to all Texas counties with 20 or more positive COVID-19 cases. With this being said, the face mask order does not apply to anyone under the age of 10 or anyone with a medical condition that prevents wearing face coverings. For a full list of exemptions, head to kxxv.com. As COVID-19 cases continue to rise, along with fears of more closures, the impact of coronavirus on mental health has also become a major concern, not just in adults, but also children. 25 News reporter Abby Loring has more.
As we approach 5 months of the nation battling the coronavirus, the pandemic has taken a large toll on everyone, including our children. According to statnews.com, COVID-19 has become the largest global disruption since World War II. During the pandemic, many have experienced added stress, fear, anger, sadness, or even loneliness. But adults are not the only ones having to cope with these feelings.
They've been out of school. Sounds great, but with that come school plays and interaction with friends and dance classes and recitals and football games and soccer games and all those things that kids look forward to are now gone.
Mental health struggles can be extremely hard to spot. With the loss of routine and signs of stress going on in the world around them, it can be hard for kiddos to communicate their feelings.
All kids behave badly, but you want to look at something that's out of the norm. What is not characteristic of their behavior that's sticking out? And look at that and use that as a stepping point to ask, what are you feeling?
Everyone reacts to change and stress differently, and in children, age is a huge factor.
Having to listen to parents talk about a virus that they don't necessarily understand. It can be very scary, and kids need that sense of safety. The younger they are, the more a sense of safety they need, and the older they are, the more they need those activities.
Health professionals agree that communicating and finding stimulating activities can help, whether that be taking a walk, playing board games, finding projects, or calling friends and family through FaceTime or Skype. For Now in Waco, I'm Abby Loring, 25 News.
The new job numbers are out, and there's good news and bad news, kind of a mixed bag this time around. President Trump held a White House press briefing today, touting June's job numbers. With an almost 5 million jobs added, the numbers shattered most economists' expectations.
Our economy is roaring back. It's coming back extremely strong.
The U.S. unemployment rate fell to 11.1%, but the U.S. economy is still in a deep recession, and millions of people are still relying on government aid to make ends meet. If you need a job right now, 25 News is here to help. Just head over to kxxv.com/job search for job listings and additional resources.
Let's get a check on your First Alert 25 forecast.
Chief Meteorologist Matt Hines is here. Matt, we've got some pop-up showers coming in.
We do, and Bosque County, they've really been seeing the heavy rain, especially right near Meridian as we made our way over the past hour or so, and this thunderstorm's not moving at all. So we could see some localized street flooding within town here in Meridian, and I'll put this into motion for you and put my finger right here and you'll be able to see it's just not moving at all, maybe a slight eastward drift. We had a thunderstorm over Lake Whitney earlier, and it looks like this may drift over that way with quite a few lightning strikes. So get off the lake there at Lake Whitney. Waco to the south, probably not going to see a lot of this activity, but we will continue to watch it. There is quite a bit of cloud cover, the anvil starting to come over central Texas, and that's blocking out the sun from time to time on our Extraco Eagle Eye network. Other than that, looks like temperatures into the 90s as you head to the north. And again, Meridian, I think it's more into the 80s here now where we've seen that thunderstorm roll through. But mid-90s in Waco, 97 Temple, 99 in Killeen, and 96 in Bryan College Station. And heat index values, look at that. It feels like 110 in Marlin, 102 Waco and Temple, 104 Killeen, and 106 in Bryan College Station. That heat advisory definitely needed across central Texas today. It will go away tomorrow, but highs are going to press 100 degrees. I'll have that forecast coming up.
Matt, thank you. A months-long search is now over. Officials arresting a longtime associate of accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein.
Plus, the Texas A&M football program in the hot seat. Find out what got head coach Jimbo Fisher in trouble.
After months of searching, FBI agents arrested Ghislaine Maxwell in New Hampshire today. She's the former girlfriend and longtime associate of accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. New York federal prosecutors are charging Maxwell with 6 counts in the connection with the ongoing federal investigation into Epstein's accomplices. Epstein committed suicide last August in a Manhattan jail.
The full report on Russian election meddling likely won't be released until after this year's election. That's because today the U.S. Supreme Court denying Congress the chance to access secret grand jury testimony from the investigation. House lawmakers say they need to see all that info to finish their investigation. But even if the court hears arguments in November, it's unlikely to make a decision before January 3rd when the congressional session adjourns.
Let's get another check on the forecast.
Chief Meteorologist Matt Hines is here. Matt, we've got some storms.
We do in Bosque County. You've been the lucky ones for today. The rest of Central Texas, not a drop of rain, but you've seen it there. Heat advisory, this will go through 7 p.m. tonight, and it's going to be allowed to expire. Even though it will be hotter tomorrow, humidity levels will come down just a touch. So just wanted to touch on that real quick and then take you to our First Alert 25 radar and look at the lightning strikes across Bosque County, now starting to push into far western parts of Hill County. The anvil is blocking the sun now in Waco, so that'll make it feel just a touch better without that sun blazing across the northern half of McLennan County. And you can see the heaviest of the rains now east of town as you head east on 22 toward the lake, and that will continue to slowly work its way off toward the east. It's not moving very fast, folks, so it's dumping quite a bit of rain in a short amount of time, and it's slowly starting to die out here. We'll see if any of the outflow or that cooler wind that rushes out from thunderstorms, well, maybe that can initiate another storm or two a little farther to the east. Clifton, you're right on the edge of the activity right now. And taking a look at 3-hour rain totals here, you can see that we have had quite a bit of rain in here, especially on either side of Meridian, where the radar is estimating where we've seen about 2.5 inches of rain. So we could have some of that street flooding, as I was talking about earlier, in and just to the north of Meridian. Let's check out our Extraco Eagle Eye. You can see the top of that thunderstorm blowing over Waco right now as we take a look at downtown. And temperatures currently into the 90s, 95 degrees in Waco, 97 Temple, 99 in Killeen, so pushing 100 there. Gatesville, you're also close to 100 degrees at this hour. And the high temperatures over the next few days, well, they're going up. 99 for a high on Friday. Some folks may hit 100. And 100 degrees on Saturday, the official forecast high. But notice your feels like temperatures with the humidity. That comes down just a touch because it will be slightly drier. Then we'll go middle 90s as we head into next week, and those feels like temperatures around